Today I'd like to show you how to put some monitoring around those dreaded QZDA-SOINIT type jobs that are likely running on your system. Alright, so let's dive in. First of all, click on the item selection, then click on Monitor Something New, and use the filter option to select Job Performance Type Monitoring. What that will give you are the monitor types listed here, and we'll just start with CPU usage, though any of these types of monitors you could use against your QZDA-SOINIT jobs. Alright, so let's go with CPU usage. On your system and many systems, those QZDA-SOINIT type jobs will be running in QUSRWRK subsystem. So what we could do is just right click on subsystem name and select QUSRWRK. You do not have to select the subsystem to do the QZDA-SOINIT monitoring. This is just a way to subset the jobs that you're looking at. Alright, so now that I've selected QUSRWRK, I'm going to right click on job name, and what we're seeing are all the jobs running in that QUSRWRK subsystem. So you may want to monitor QZDA-SOINIT, you may want to monitor QZDA-SSINIT, the secure JDBC, and likewise other QZDA type activities. So I selected QZDA-SOINIT. Remember too that in the job name you can use wildcards, so you could, for instance, select QZDA*, and that would get QZDA-SOINIT and SSINIT. But I think we're going to just stick with QZDA-SOINIT for now. Alright, so once you've selected that and you click on the OK button, what you're going to see is in the CPU branch here under item selection is you'll see the monitor that you just created. This is one that I've previously created, and I've modified the short description and the long description to meet my needs. Remember, the short description is what will show up in the system view underneath the vertical bar. Likewise, there will be a default threshold associated with this monitor, and you can create other thresholds and modify thresholds specific to JDBC, as I've done here, and that's the subject of another short video. Alright, once the monitor has been created, you can take that and you can drop it into your view, and I've already done that. You can see JDBC CPU is listed down here on the second row. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to generate a workload coming in from the outside world that will be via a JDBC connection, and I'll use a run SQL script via IBM's ACS interface, and basically this is going to insert 8 million rows into a table and do that multiple times. So let's go ahead and run that, and let's see what happens. Let's see what the effect is here inside of monitor. Okay, remember, by default, these monitors are running every 30 seconds. As you can see, our JDBC connection is hammering the system pretty good. So let's right click on it and say show details. So we're going to drill in to the details of what's constituting this workload. And as you can see, that request that I made via run SQL scripts is hammering the system pretty good. I'm going to drill into it. I'm going to do the work with job option. And from here, I can see the standard display job screens as well as the SQL information. So I can actually see the SQL statement and likewise the IP address where that workload is coming from. I can take actions on that job. I can also see the job log for that particular job. Okay, now when I do a right click and show details, I have the option of pinning that information to my display. All right, now what does that do? That gives me a little drop down or pop up depending on where it's placed, so that this information is available to you at any time. All right, so I've created a number of JDBC, ODBC type monitors, and I've put those in a group. Groups are a topic of another short video. So here I've got JDBC CPU utilization, secure JDBC, JDBC faulting, QTemp size, temporary storage, number of JDBC connections, and so forth. And I can have more than that. Our next job is to take these metrics and to put them in a robot monitor dashboard specific to JDBC, or maybe incorporated in with some of my other dashboards that do overall performance monitoring. That is the subject of a separate video. If you do have any questions about any of the robot products, please reach out to product support. Thank you.